And, Tua plays at Alabama. He's a legendary high schooler from Hawaii. He goes to Alabama. There's a term, Tua time, when enjoys from there. We talk about it all the time. It was fun. Like, Rams-Dolphins wouldn't have had a lot of juice. It's like with Ryan Fitzpatrick. Instead, it was a lot of juice. And there's a story this morning. Brian Flores, the head coach, who I like a lot, he says, listen, I don't know where this came from. All this talk about we're auditioning Tua for the next 9 or 10 games. I don't know where it's come from. Here he is.
I'm comfortable with what comes out of these 10 games. I think since I've been here, I think everybody's heard me talk about the development of players, improvement on a daily basis. So I just don't see how someone close to Dolphins thinking could say that this would be a 10-game audition. That's just, not sure where that came from.
Because it's obvious. Ask yourself this question. Find me the other examples where a red-hot veteran quarterback has won 3 of 4. The 3 wins are all blowouts. The loss is close to maybe the best team in the league, second best Seattle. In a winnable division, by the way. For the first time in years, it's winnable. It is winnable now. Even Ryan Fitzpatrick, who went to Harvard, he's pretty smart, he was shocked by it. I mean, when they moved off Eli Manning in New York, he was washed. He was no longer productive. Cincinnati didn't have a choice. You had to go to Joe Burrow. They didn't have anybody else. The Chargers were going to sit Justin Herbert for the year until a doctor, Tyrod Taylor, punctured lung. Ready to go, kid? When you start looking at the young quarterbacks, we know, but Baltimore, they don't want to play Joe. They wanted to win games with Joe Flacco and let Lamar sit for a year. That wasn't the plan. Joe Flacco was bad. They started losing. They put Lamar in. Find me the examples of veteran quarterback really winning. 3 of his last 4 games are blowout wins. The only loss is very close to maybe a top 2 team in the league, Seattle. Even the quarterback is, a Harvard guy is shocked, and we don't think it's a little bit of an audition because Miami has Houston's first-round pick, and right now it's a top 5 pick. Go look at the last 3 drafts. I'm going to list the first-round quarterbacks, all of them. 4 of them are hits. They have full support in the building. Burrow, Herbert, Kyler Murray, and Lamar Jackson. They have everybody in the building is in, and they may struggle right now with Baltimore, but Baltimore came a play from beating Pittsburgh. Those 4 guys have total support in the building. The 8 others, there are questions in the building. Jordan Love didn't have a good camp. Daniel Jones, Dwayne Haskins, Baker, Sam Darnold. Josh Allen has struggled early and struggling now. Josh Rosen. And I think Tua. Because Tua doesn't have the amazing speed of a Russell Wilson or Lamar, Kyler. He doesn't have the size of a Josh Allen. He doesn't have kind of the durability of some of the other guys. I don't think you see that special at practice. I think a lot of his stuff, let's throw him out there. See how he takes the live bullets, right? Let's see how he plays in real space, real time, against real teams, at a real speed. But I believe absolutely unequivocally, 8 of the 12 first-round quarterbacks, there are questions in the building. Ask yourself, why? Patrick Mahomes, there were no questions in the building with Patrick Mahomes. So even though the Chiefs were winning, losing, they were like 9-7 that year. There was no rush. They were winning enough. They just kept Alex Smith in because they knew Mahomes was the guy. The Chargers were, I was told this by the Chargers. They were planning on sitting Justin Herbert all year long. They knew he was good. There was no questions in the building. They're like, I talked to their GM. It's like, huge arm, great kid, 4-point. He's going to be great. But we're no hurry. Everybody wants to sit their guy. So why with a red-hot team that's overperforming, and for the first time in 20 years, it's a winnable division, the Patriots are bad, Buffalo is like reeling, you pull him. Because I think there's questions in the building. And I think the next 2 weeks when he faces Kyler Murray and Joe Burrow, I think you're going to size him right up and look right up. And who does he face the next 2 weeks? Kyler Murray's one of them. And I think, is it Justin Herbert? Justin Herbert. You can size him right up. He doesn't have the wiggle of one or the arm of the other. And I think it's going to become prominent. But I think if you know, there's no rush. You would never take a hot quarterback. I mean, Mahomes, everybody in the building knew. Peter Schrager told me. He's like, everybody in the building knew. Like, we got a star. What's the hurry? Focus. And now he's putting his arms around Antonio Brown, who is defined by drama. Domestic incidents, throwing furniture out of a building window, almost killing a kid, battery and burglary charges, ongoing sexual assault. People are saying, why? Is he desperate? This is the year Tom Brady is going off-brand, right? Guy gets a divorce, buys a sports car, In New England, we thought he was stoic and part of a system. In Tampa, he's taking these unnecessary risks. Or is he? Or is this who Tom Brady's always been? Conforming to New England. California dude, this is who he is. He's a risk taker. Antonio Brown talked yesterday about Tom Brady, and to say he admires him is an understatement. Here it is.
Tom is my boy, one of the greatest leaders to be around. He's encouraging, always inspiring. He brings out the best of the people around him. He wants the best for everyone around him. I mean, he's the greatest quarterback all time. Nothing he have done in the past matter. And I just learned a lot from him. He's been a great guy in my corner and one of my close friends.
I don't think Tom's lying. I don't think AB is. Derek Jeter always felt like New York. The good-looking single guy for all those years. He felt like a Yankee. Troy Aikman has always felt like a Dallas Cowboy to me. Big Ben has always felt like a Steeler. Tom Brady's never felt like Boston. He just conformed. I hear people in media saying in New England, he's changed. Yeah, that's why I know he's not Boston. They never do. Boston's the most, and I lived right next to it, the most parochial city in the country of any size. Providence and Boston, statistically, demographically, they do studies on this. They don't watch national sports. Tom Brady is aspirational. He married a supermodel. He's creating a global brand. He has houses in Costa Rica, Montana. Tom's always been about growth and evolving. That's not Boston. Boston is you work hard, make a decent living, you buy a summer home on the Cape or maybe Maine, and that's about as far as you leave. An occasional vacation down to Florida. That's what Boston is. They stay there forever. Tom Brady is fun and happy. Boston's cranky and intense. Look at Tom Brady's lifestyle brand. Does it say Boston? No drinking. Avocado ice cream. Lots of yoga. That does not say Boston. It says California, where Tom has multiple homes. It says West. Tom Brady was never Boston. Belichick is. Smart, academic, cranky, intense. Plays golf on the Cape in the summer. That's about as far as he goes. Maybe a trip to Florida down, Jupiter, Florida, play some golf. Belichick is very New England. Brady never has been. In the summers, he got out of there. The minute he could get out of there, he went out of there. He goes international. He had a place in New York. He goes west skiing in Montana. He's got places in L.A. and Palm Springs. I just feel Tom Brady conformed for 20 years. And I think all of us have done that. Brady's not changing. Brady's always been willing to take risks. He's always befriended guys who've had issues. I mean, Gronk is not your typical NFL players. They were super tight. Go look at his lifestyle. He's not Boston. He's aspirational. He's happy. He's always adapting. He's always growing. That is not Boston. I lived right between New York and Boston. New Yorkers tend to be more aspirational, a little more global. Boston's parochial. His brand is no drinking. They're defined by Sam Adams. I mean, breweries, that is Boston. So I don't buy that Tom has changed. I keep hearing that. I think this is who is closer to who he is. Fun, adapting, evolving, thinking big, taking big risks, California thinker, always evolving, trying new stuff. That is the opposite of Boston, and it's absolutely what I think Brady is. So I think this is interesting. So the big story last